What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Party Wagon podcast. We're deeming this one episode 20 because the episode I did with my buddy Jay, which I said was episode 20, we did that live. We recorded it, had a bunch of issues. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not bothering with this. So this is the official episode 20. Jay was going to try to be here with us tonight, but he's visiting family. So we don't have a third person. But hey, guess what? We got Steven back. No more
Yep.
Mr. COVID boy. Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be back.
Hell yeah. So, in the last episode, if you, we're going to, this one's obviously going to be posted if you're watching it right now. The last episode, if you're not in the group and you didn't watch it or whatever the case may be, Jay and I went over stuff at New York Comic Con. Because I was at New York Comic Con hanging out with the Neca guys and doing work, surprisingly.
Hmm.
So we'll touch upon that in this episode a little bit. We will go over some van stuff, Neca wagons shipping. We'll discuss that. We will talk about some we'll say customer service situations and turtle community related things. And then I don't know, maybe we'll touch on what's coming out here soon, what's going on with turtle things, and as always, we'll just fly by the seat of our pants because Steven and I don't plan this. We just kind of jump in and just 2 minutes before we go live, we're just like, let's just say this, and then we go from there. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, action packed maybe. Leave us down in the comments like what you want us to talk about, what you care about, most. To be completely honest, like, do you give a shit that we talk about the things we do? Would you rather us talk more about, I don't know, the taboo things in the community where like people acting a certain way, things we don't agree with, make it more drama based? I don't know. Something to just be more entertaining. That's just kind of what our goal is. But we're gonna keep it in the Turtles realm of things. So we'll just jump into that from there. So we'll start with talking about the Turtle Van and NECA's version of the Turtle Van first. Steven, you've ordered how many?
Two.
Two. I've ordered one. I got my tracking in September. September 5th, I got my tracking number and it showed up on my FedEx app. Did you get anything?
Nothing. Nothing at all for two separate orders.
Okay.
So,
So I got my tracking and it hadn't moved. It was in New Jersey where they're located. And mine still hasn't moved technically, but they did announce that they are starting to send them out next week. Next week, as in we're recording this on November 9th, so the week prior to is a Thursday. They'll be shipping out, and mine did get updated. It said that it is available, ready for pickup from FedEx. So I'm assuming mine's being picked up next week, and I can confirm it's the same tracking number. So they made my label 2 months ago.
interesting. But I want to know why that you got a tracking number and I didn't.
So if I was a betting man, this is going to be all assumption because there's one of those things where I can ask and get the real answers, but I just don't care enough to do it. It's just not something I want to ever. I don't like to always be work for other people. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious, and if I would say obvious also in my random thought, that they essentially printed out everybody's label that only ordered one, or a good majority of people that only ordered one. And then what they're going to do is they're going to get them in their boxes and just start slapping labels on them and sending them off so that there's no mistakes of we didn't send two to somebody or that person's name came up twice. Because you said you ordered two separate orders, right? Were they under
Correct.
this?
Yeah.
And was there a limit on? There's no limit on them, right?
No one.
So we're not getting cancels. You would have gotten that
Right.
already.
Yeah.
That's my thought. My thought is they did that, and the second thought, while I'm just talking through it, is maybe they started to do that, and then they're like, "Oh shit, this is a terrible idea," because people are going to think we're shipping them out, and then they stopped.
Yeah. Maybe that's an idea.
So, if it was me, yeah, I would have printed out all the labels of people that were just ordering one, or if there were multiple orders, as long as they didn't put two in one order, I would start printing out all the labels so that when you're ready to process, the box comes in, slap it on, and then put it in the pile. All right.
Yep.
I
So
will.
it's going to be interesting for me to see if they actually combine them or put them in two different boxes.
I'm gonna say the latter, only because if they're two order numbers, then they have two different shipping labels that they'd have to create. So, as someone that's in fulfillment now for a business, and I'm the sole fulfiller, uh, you usually go down a line of product of orders, and then you do the work, you get it done, and then you complete it, you fulfill it, and then you go to the next one. The chances of seeing the same person's name twice and then realizing it is very low, especially with a company that's selling more than that. Like I mean, we do well, but it's definitely not their level of product. And
Right.
and it's a couple extra people. It's for me at Bull Airs, it's just me. At NECA, it's like 3 or 4 people running fulfillment. So
Well, I thought you had somebody else helping you. No?
no, it's me.
Okay.
It's just me.
All
It's
right.
just me. We'll touch on that a little later. We'll talk about that a little behind the scenes for people that even care or just want to, maybe it will spark something in your brain that's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. Um, but yeah, so that's my thought. Do you think you're getting yours next week?
No, I
At
doubt
least
it. I would
shipped.
have gotten a tracking number.
What if they get? What if you got it right now? What if you look in your email right now and you're like, oh, there it is.
I'll check. Better yet, I'll check my FedEx app.
Check it on your iPhone.
Checking now. My great iPhone that actually works. Yep, nothing. I even refreshed it. See how fast that was?
Well, speaking of that, so Steven, you've got no updates from NECA, right?
0.
I've got a tracking number for my turtle lair too.
Are you serious?
So so I've got my turtle lair inbound too at some point, but I think it's the same situation. They probably did that. Um, I was joking with everybody in the group, and everybody jokes that like they love me more, because I know them, but the people that are shipping stuff don't know me. I met one of them. I met their warehouse. I think it was their warehouse manager at New York Comic Con, and he had no idea who I was, so that was fun.
Yep.
And yeah, so I talked to him about the tracking and stuff. I said, "Are you responsible for the Capri Sun incident?" And he laughed and had no idea what I was talking about.
Okay.
But it wasn't him. But I told him like that's great packing. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And it's to my understanding, their warehouse is much like the Four Horsemen. Four Horsemen is a very small operation that does bangers of product shipping out. So for people that are watching, we will revisit the statement of set your expectations. They're not Hasbro. I've said this so many times in the groups. They're not Hasbro. They're not Mattel. Yes, their products go out to Targets and Toys R Us and stuff like that. But overall, like that team is small. Like they're just lucky that they put out great product. Now, not
Well, here's
everything's
a
perfect,
question.
but
I agree, but here's a question. Whatever we ordered last time, I can't remember. We're shipping from two different warehouses.
yes, right. Wisconsin and New
Yep,
Jersey.
correct.
Right.
So with that being said, does NECA have two different locations?
Yes. So there is a warehouse in Wisconsin, which I believe is the Ruby's warehouse. Now,
Yes, it is Ruby's
it's
or UBS or
yeah.
UBS.
No, it's Rubies. Ruby's.
Okay.
It's Ruby's who
Okay.
owns NECA. They're the parent company. Um, when I had said something, and like this is me just kind of like going back in my brain. I could be I could be like I said pandering. It's not the right word. I could be making this up or not expressing it properly. But the gentleman I spoke to, I didn't get his name. That is the warehouse manager or is the head of one of the warehouses. I think he's the New Jersey guy, and he was not happy with Wisconsin the way that he kind of came off. Like he was kind of like they're the ones that screw shit up. So
Okay.
that's what I kind of got from that. I'm not trying to, start shit between, if anybody that works at those warehouses are watching this. Um, but that's what I got from it personally. And to my understanding, the party wagons, the vans are shipping. Everybody that's gotten it so far, it says shipping from New Jersey.
So I wonder if they're doing it by region because you're closer to New Jersey, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in New York.
Yeah.
I'm about 5 hours from NECA's office.
Right. So I'm closer to the Wisconsin one. So maybe that's why I haven't, because everyone I talk to from where I'm from, they have not gotten their tracking number.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason why too.
Yeah. We'll report back to you probably next episode in 2 weeks when we've all got our vans and Steven doesn't, or he might have his tracking. I don't know.
I would be so annoyed complaining to you to talking to Trevor to get my van. Watch if that would happen.
Speaking of the van, in the Party Wagon admin chat, there's been a lot of discussion about the products, about the van specifically, and this is one of those weird things. I've played with it plenty. I've had no issues with it. But one of the concerns was how flat the front of the van was,
Yeah.
which I never really like. I've played with this thing so many times, and I never once like really focused in on the van front. And then you see all these promo shots come out. The Foosh did some photos of it. You see some of and it's flat as shit. But then Dan Erdley, Pixel Dan, if you know him by, Dan released a video showing it off. Great video if you haven't watched it already. And it's not as flat as we all thought it was. It's got a curve to it. Now maybe the mouth is still kind of flat, but the actual front of it has a convex curve, both vertical and horizontal. It is not like a fucking box as we thought it looked like in these promo shots.
So here's the thing. Here's a question. They both got them as samples because they didn't have batteries.
Right.
So I wonder if they got two different samples.
No, those are the production, because those samples they got is the same one I played with that I never even paid attention to, because when I played with it, I never saw a flat front. Now I never focused on it, but I feel like I would have immediately pointed that out and been like, "Wow, this is really flat." So, as someone who's been playing with the Underground Arsenal one, which is much more convex, I think that the new one looks really good because it's almost like flat, and then the front, it does kind of bow out a little bit in a curve, and like as it goes down from top to bottom. And if you look at a lot of the original images and the fucking, I don't know, the white paper that has like the sketch of it on there or whatever they call it, the schematic, they show it like it looks just like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's okay. But okay. Okay. So why didn't theirs have batteries?
The samples probably didn't have batteries. So
Okay.
when samples come, they don't have a barcode and they're not full retail packaging. Like they will have the box art and stuff, but there's no barcode on the bottom usually, and it will be missing items like batteries. Now, maybe they didn't ship it with batteries because that's something you have to disclose when you ship stuff and it's more expensive. So maybe they wanted to cut costs with the shipping and not pay extra for hazardous materials.
But on the box it
That's
says,
really reaching for it, but you don't.
yeah, no, I would agree. But on the box it says batteries included for theirs also. It doesn't matter. There's just batteries.
That's still like that's all legalities. But
Yeah.
I'd want to look at the bottom again to see if they have a barcode, because usually a sample doesn't have barcodes on them.
Okay. And then another thing I want to bring up about the van is a lot of people are complaining about a hinge.
Yeah, so Dan showed the door that flipped out that the turtle sits on, and he said the hinge was a little, not bad, but it was a little wobbly, which means be a little careful on it. And normally, yeah, of course, a hinge with weight on it that you move is going to have a little bit of movement. But would we rather have a tighter hinge that could possibly crack, or have it with more looseness? I don't know. When I played with it, I didn't really fuck with those doors at any point. I played with the drop down door a lot, and I played with the front doors, and I never felt a problem with those. So
Yeah, but see, I expect a little bit better for $250. If it was
right,
$100, okay, I'd say fine. But $250,
yeah.
I don't know. That hinge might bother me.
Yeah, well, so like I said, I didn't really feel any hinge issues when I did it, and I'm not trying to be like a fucking Neca suck up. I mean, people that have watched my lives see that I break shit all the time. So like, I know there are QC issues or just issues in general. But when I played with it a couple of times, I didn't really see an issue with it at all. Now, does that mean that that they're all going to have issues? We don't know. Because what? I've played with a couple of samples. We've seen Dan's and we've seen Craig from the Yes Have Some podcast. And then
Yes.
I don't think they haven't done a review. Nick from Veebs from Foosh, I don't think he's done a review on it yet. So they've only shown it on their website with photos and such. And I didn't read it, admittingly, so I don't know what it says. But I don't know what's going on with it. There's a patented Steven putting something up to the screen while I'm talking. So that's just my thought on it. We talked about the van. There's your van news. Our talking about the van. Oh, speaking of, we didn't talk about this when I said sample stuff. They showed off 4 boxes for the Turtles Ultimates coming up, and everybody was so confused why the boxes were white.
They're samples.
They're samples. The art's not done. The art's
Right.
literally not done yet. And guess what? Our buddy Aaron's doing the art.
Nice.
So Aaron Hazori is doing the artwork on the
How did you find that out?
on the Ultimate TMNT. What?
How'd you find that out?
He loosely made comments on the thing on a couple of the posts, like, "Oh man, that'd be really cool." I mean, it's something about like I know someone real cool doing the box art or some shit like that. Something really funny. And then
okay.
I think I DM'd him or he DM'd me. I think he DM'd me, and he told me. I don't remember. I get so many messages. So yeah, so that's just speaking of, those are going to be a thing. So if you are new to collecting and you never got the Turtles in Disguise turtles, this is going to be your new chance to get the ultimate, or the turtles in general, the 4 brothers. Now they are coming in ultimates, which means they're going to be about between $33 and $40. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to say $37.99, and good luck finding them all because they're doing them separately. But
That's dumb. They should have done a 4-pack.
yeah, I mean, if they did a 4-pack, it would have been $150. It would have been harder to ship. Would have been harder to find. And I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it. I'm going to assume that they're going to release them. It's going to be a normal situation, and then we'll have another shot at them on their website. But for me, obviously, a lot of us are going to be rebuying them, and we just want the extra couple of 1 or 2 accessories in there. Are you rebuying them?
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't I? However, one thing that bothers me about Raph is size are so thick.
So that is a feature of that, because that is playing to what they looked like on the cartoon. That's a thing.
What?
Like
No,
that's
they
a
don't.
yeah. So like there are scenes, multiple, where his size are that big. So like that's a legitimate reference to the cartoon. That's why they're so goofy looking. Wasn't
So then will the Ultimate have both then?
No, I think it only has those, because those are the more.
Oh,
I
God.
think those are more screen. I think those are the accurate ones. I believe that they were sized down because they were just so fucking goofy.
No, that's so fucked up.
I mean,
No.
So that's what I think. I'm not sure yet. I haven't even asked, but they might come with both because the mold's already done. I don't know. Neca likes to pack their ultimates.
I'm going to Google this real quick to see. Hold on.
So while he's Googling, I went to my local comic shop today, and I had to pick up my Street Fighter and Ninja Turtle crossover comic, and I picked up 2 of these. And a lot of people always always freaking out, like, oh my god, those must be expensive. So I feel like wax packs are like a dime a dozen. They're so easy to get for the most part if you just want to look for them. But I picked up 2 of them because I'm like, I love them. It just brings me back to the 90s. These are the Turtles 2. I paid $4 a piece for them, so that's your average price.
Are you going to open them?
$5. I'm going to open one, and then I'm going to keep the other one sealed because it's still so beautiful. And I'm going to keep this one like just kind of in a display kind of situation. So
Okay.
that's cool. Did you find any information on that while
Yep.
we're
So
talking?
I am putting it in our chat. I don't know if you're going to put it.
I'm not going to look at it because it's going to shut down our screen that's recording.
Oh, no. All right. So the one I just sent you, in the beginning where they introduce each turtle in the intro,
yeah,
his eyes are normal.
his eyes.
No, his size. I'm sorry.
His eyes. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's from the intro. I'm talking about the actual cartoon. He's got big ass goofy size at points, as I've seen him. I've seen him.
I can't find anything like that. So I think that Neca screwed up on that one.
I mean, Trevor's pretty accurate to what is in the cartoon.
Okay.
He knows. In Trevor we trust.
Trevor, we trust.
So there's that. what else were we going to talk about? Because I know we're going to touch on the shipping situation. Get that out of here. Who made that? Don't want that.
I don't know. I found it on Mercari.
Um, I guess we'll
And
just.
then what about the Playmates? What is that? Bottleneck?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk
We're-
about that. So,
Yeah.
Bottleneck Gallery. Justin Ishmael used to work at Mondo. We are eagerly waiting for our Laird first turtle to ship, and he's releasing other items. He did show off one today that was, I think it was a Leonardo or Michelangelo. It's one of the turtles sitting on a mushroom. It's from one of the comics, and it was a 3D render. It looks great. It's going to be a statue piece, more statue-esque as a vinyl figure. And then right before we hopped on this, about an hour prior on Instagram, he showed a photo of the first Playmates prototype turtle, if you know what I'm talking about, where it's essentially just a turtle holding a bow staff in an action pose. He's doing a statue of that, or a vinyl figure, which is about that 1/6. It looks like it's either gonna be like a 1/6 scale ish, between 1/12 1/6 style, and that is gonna be really cool because that's never been done before. So I'm really excited about that, and
I'm
like,
gonna get that one for sure.
yeah, I'll get that. That's just always, that's an iconic piece. And speaking of, if you haven't checked it out yet, they're not. He took down his photos, but maybe you saw him. Fellow admin, good friend Oscar, is doing something really cool, where he is making resin prints and painting them by hand of the Eastman first turtle that Mondo released years ago. So if you don't have the couple of grand to buy one of those, if you want something that looks good on your shelf, he is doing those. So there's a nice little plug for Oscar. Those are going to be awesome. If you saw the photo, the dude's like a master at painting. So it looks great.
Yep.
And they'll probably be up there in price. I'm assuming around that $300 range, because it's his time and he put a lot of work into it. He had to buy that fucking thing so he could 3D scan it, remold it. He had to put a lot of work into that. So if you want that
Nice.
piece, get it. Support local, support artists, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So that's
for
exciting.
sure.
I know you're excited. The Laird First Turtle Glow in the Dark has been confirmed for Designer Con.
Yeah, well, I have nobody to get it for me.
So you're not going, but what was that? That's LA?
Yeah, I'm hoping Oscar will actually pick me up one.
Well,
But who knows if it's one per item? I doubt it. I
well,
mean, one per person.
it's Designer Con, right? Who do you know anybody on this podcast that's a designer?
No, I don't know any designers.
I think we might be going. I didn't say anything in our group chat, but I think Bull Airs is probably going.
Well, can you pick me up a Laird first turtle, please? Glow in the dark.
So I mean, I want
Yours
one too.
did it for me at New York CC, but they didn't have it there.
Yeah, they didn't have it. Yeah, New York Comic Con's a nightmare. I hated every minute of that. But yeah, so we did that. So hopefully we'll be doing that. I don't know. But speaking of Bull Airs, if you're watching this episode in November, we are shipping out the Sewer Stompers. If you ordered one, I got some extras in the warehouse coming too. But just a fun little update for people that don't check their emails or look at the website or anything like that. They're on their way. We expected them in the middle of November. They might be hitting a little bit later than the middle of November. And then we've got the holidays coming up. But my sole one-person project here will be busting his ass to get them out. So bear with me while I get them taken care of. So,
Nice.
and if you didn't buy one, go fucking buy a pair. I got some extras coming in. So we love doing them. And we got more coming. We got more coming. I have one pair in my office right now that might be January. Gotta give
I
people
want a
time.
sneak peek. I want a sneak peek.
Yeah, gotta give people time to save their money back up, because you
Yeah.
can't drop a turtle shoe every goddamn month. But we just love doing them. Like, it's so much fun. I did a turtle shoe at work. I designed one today. Like, just
Nice.
so. And then I'll say, speaking of, we don't, people that watch us know we bring this up every once in a while. Steven knows we don't do this podcast for marketing, but I just like, because it's my life now. Bull Airs is working on a standard shoe, $100, so that people can afford, who can't afford a $350 shoe, can at least get something from us that has the passion and the time behind it.
Nice.
You look at a 350 and you look at 100, the $250 difference there. Set the expectations, but it's
Honestly,
really
I would
cool.
be okay with 100 to 150. If they're comfy, 150.
Yeah, that's where we were gonna try to be around 125, 150, but right now we're playing with $100 and then maybe 125 if we add some premium feel to it. Um, like we have a Toxic Crusader, we have the Toxic Crusader license. We work with Troma, and we got one of those coming out here soon, and I love that because it's a Playmates toy that works so well with the turtles when we were kids. I don't know if you were into the Toxic Crusaders or not, but I was, and like that premium shoe, that bitch got ostrich leather on it. Like it is ostrich leather around the toe, so it's premium. But anyway, you didn't come here to listen to me talk about my damn job. So, what other great turtle news do we have? Thanks to Nick in the Party Wagon, showed us that the best action IDW turtles have just started hitting Walmarts. I personally went tonight and I saw one set, and then I saw two of the black and white sets, box sets, $85 for those.
Still not a good price for me. It should be
So,
cheaper.
so let's talk about that. So, are the singles 20 something bucks? I don't remember. Are they
Yeah,
20
no, I
bucks? Are they
agree, but they
25?
still are crappy. I don't like them.
Right. And they're okay. I like them. I like the IDW. The IDW are way better than what they've done before. You probably can't see them. They're behind me. I've not put them in my display yet, but they're pretty awesome. So it's Party Wagon. Uh, and check your local Walmarts if you haven't gotten them yet. Also, I think Last Toy Store, our partner seller, might have them as well.
Nice.
So
Definitely shop the last toy store.
yeah, yeah, and if you do hit us up, if you're in the Party Wagon, hit one of us up for a promo code. We have a 10% promo code that we no longer post because it got out and everybody started using it that wasn't a turtle fan, and screwed everything up for everybody else. So we don't want to do that anymore. Mind you, we make no money
Definitely.
off it. Like if we made money off it, yeah, that's fucking sick because we keep getting money every time they do that. But
Right?
it's straight up just it's one of those things where um, the bigger companies, they're big because they've been around a while, but like I'm not going to name names, but like one big toy retailer online is really shitty. Like they are shit people. And we just like supporting smaller people.
Yeah, of course.
Simple as that. When you're in the earth of entertainment, you lose track of your customers and you just treat people like shit. Well,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's fun. Last Toy Store, check them out. We had one other thing we wanted to talk about, didn't we? This is the part where we just forget what we talked about
Yeah.
before the episode, and you just get to sit here and watch us think.
Yep. And we're gonna remember it probably next episode and then forget.
Yeah. Um, I'll double down on what we talked about in the first part. Something that we did discuss before the episode started was if you've seen me around in groups, I've been saying with just kind of what people have been how people have been acting and things I've been saying with issues like our turtle vans not shipping. Oh well, remember what I was going to talk about. With the turtle van taking some time to ship and stuff like that. Always remember that these aren't big companies. We brought this up earlier in the episode, and there are a lot of people that do act so entitled in these groups, and they say, "Well, I deserve this. We deserve this." And I read one specific comment where it's like, "Well, if Neca knew that these were going to sell, why didn't they hire more people to ship them out?" It doesn't work that way. You don't just hire people to ship stuff out. So like for me and my job, right? If I have to ship out 500 pairs of shoes at the end of the month, that's not a one person job realistically. But sometimes companies can't afford to hire more people. It's not that easy. You can't just contract somebody to come in and do something and that's it. I mean, you can, but companies don't do that because it's so much more paperwork and it ends up being so much more money in the long run. So the sense of entitlement and the lack of maturity with some of the responses. Just be smart, give credit where credit's due. Am I mad that I bought this fucking Party Wagon in April of 2022 and here we are almost in 2024 and I haven't gotten it yet? So a year and a half later and I haven't gotten it? Of course I am. Do I want the product I paid for? Yeah, $250 is a lot of money to a lot of people. And for me, like, it's in the middle of the road for me personally, and I want to get the shit that I paid for. But at the same time, the company is small. They are small, and they're trying to put out the best product they can. Are they always perfect? No. So give credit where it's due and be patient. And that's just my 2 cents. I'm sick of people saying we deserve this, we deserve this. Like, no, you're lucky as a 30 to 40-year-old person, maybe even older, that we even have the ability to enjoy shit like this.
Yep.
You know, this is a
Agree.
thing that we do. Like this, like think about that. Like, right, Stephen? Like we were we are this is going to live and die with us essentially. I feel like.
Yeah,
Because
well,
yeah, cuz people that like Ninja Turtles that are growing up on it right now are going to like Ninja Turtles growing up. But the 80s, 90s and early 2000s was that situation where it was put a cartoon out to sell a toy and like we were all programmed to like getting things like this. Like we were
right.
the toy generations. I'll say generations plural because there's some mix-ins there. But after our next after us and then whoever, like this shit's gonna probably be gone. So like we're living in like this is just something that we are able to enjoy because the people that are running it are also our age and they have the
Yeah.
ability to do cool shit. So no one deserves anything. We should just all be appreciative that we get to have these cool ass fucking collectibles in our life in general. That's just my like
Yeah.
my 2 cents. My getting annoyed by people's entitlement. What do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
definitely see where you're coming from, 100%. People need to understand where what NECA is as a company, and in a way, they're yes, they're making money, but they're also making us happy by making these types of toys. You know,
Yeah.
so people need to be patient and just I don't want to say live with it, but just be happy when you get it.
Yeah. Like we can live in a world where we don't have this.
Right.
Christ, we can live in fucking Europe where they don't even ship things, I guess, anymore for some reason. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like, not to get, really off course, but fuck, we can live in the Middle East where people are getting bombed just
Yeah.
probably sitting there trying to play
Unfortunately,
Xbox. And all of a sudden, some crazy people are being assholes, you know?
that's sad.
You
Very
know,
sad.
it's insanely sad. We have a deep connection with somebody in the community that is affected by that. So our hearts are with them, and they have been semi-absent over the past couple of weeks. So it's a big deal. Like people are affected differently. So no one deserves anything. Just be happy you're able to have the opportunity to get something, and it's not as easy as you think it is. It's not, boom, we need more people. You just get fucking 3 people off the street. Like that doesn't work. So
Right.
cool as shit. And the very very last thing about those vans shipping, we got production images, not production of being made, but like them getting shit out. The Super 7 vans finally shipping.
Yeah, I don't care.
I've got to see that thing in person. Huge thanks to Brian Flynn on that. And I didn't order one because it was just not something in my collection. Because when it went up, I wasn't doing Super 7. Now that I'm fully invested and I'm a Super 7 affiliate, I saw it and I want it. Like it's cool looking. It's bright. It's vibrant. It looks premium. Now I will say one thing about Super 7 stuff. That Cat's Lair looks cheap as shit. The Thunder Tank, I have one in the office. It's cheap as shit. The Turtle Van looks good. It's ugly, but it looks good.
Yeah, it's very ugly.
No, it's just ugly.
It's
It's like,
so ugly.
there's a difference between something looking good and something being ugly. Like it's just an ugly design, but they made it look like it looks good. You get it in your hands, and you're like, this is a fucking product, and they did a good job on that. I'll give them that. So do I want one? Yeah, I really want to get one. Am I hoping they send me one, the review? Yes, I'm really hoping they do. But if not, I gotta find $500. It's gonna be either the fucking van or it's gonna be the fucking MetaQuest 3. So I gotta figure out where I throw my 500.
The MetaQuest 3, the van. I'm sorry, I don't like the van.
I don't have any room for it.
See, there you go.
So
Don't need the van.
I'm actually back packing up a diorama that I made and that I'm sending it to somebody in the community for free. They don't even know about it yet. So hopefully they don't. Maybe they'll know. I don't know. when it shows up. But I need room. I have another NECA street dial showing up tomorrow, so I need more room.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I got another one. I'm doing the NECA Street Dio. That is the one that you see at near Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con, the last Ronin one. I'm gonna have one of those in my collection. So thankfully, Trevor can tell me everything I need to know about it if I have problems, because I want to replicate that, and that's something I'm gonna put probably on the floor because I don't have room in my wall on my wall anymore.
Well, good luck with that. Keep us updated with the pictures.
Yeah, and I want to take photos with it. I can't take any cool toy photos anymore without having to take a whole shelf down, and I haven't done that since I moved in. So if you've looked at my toy photos, there's been nothing in the past year that has been with a street dial. So that's gonna be cool to have one to actually move around and take photos with.
Nice.
Cool.
Fun. Very cool.
Well,
I think that's it.
I think that's it. We rambled a little bit. I did talk a lot, and it's because I have a rock star. I was falling asleep, so now I'm wired. So anyway, thank you as always for jumping in. If you want to pick up any cool stuff for 10% off, as I brought up in the middle of the show, Last Toy Store, we have a promo code. Just DM one of us if you're in the Party Wagon or the Action Figure Collectors group. People, if you don't remember know who we are, you'll see us. So just DM us, and we'll give you the code. We will make it public sooner or later. We just gotta make sure people don't abuse the code like they were. And just be nice to people. Be nice to each other. And hopefully we get through another week of people not talking shit about us. It's been a good week.
Yeah, let's keep it like that.
All right, everyone. As always, thank you for joining. I'll catch y'all later.
Thank you, guys. See ya.